have some.
Hey, Nyla. Hi. You want me to get you some pellets? I'll get you a few pellets. Hey, Nettie.
Oh, she's going for the bucket.
Are you going for that bucket? I know you have better manners than that.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, hey, YouTube. We got TikTok over on the other side, too.
YouTube.
What's up? What's up?
Okay.
That's a Peter McKinnon reference for anyone that knows who that is.
Yeah, we are here. We're at FossilRimWildlifeCenter. We're based in Glen Rose, Texas. We are a conservation breeding facility. We're hanging out with our giraffes, but we've also got some outad over here, as well as some zebra walking away over there.
Oh, are they back?
Well, they're making their slow way up the road.
Oh, yeah.
You can see.
Yeah.
There. The zebra are pretty skittish. They definitely don't like to be around people as much as the giraffe do. And the outad are hanging out underneath the giraffe feeders. They're eating all those scraps the giraffe drop.
And we do have some giraffe down over by the creek that are they're enjoying some feeders. There's our little guy, Big Mac. Oh nope, he's over there. Sorry, he's just poking his head up off in the distance.
This giraffe that we're looking at right here, this is Nettie. She is one of our older females. She's the mother of one of the calves we had last season. And you can see she's eating from the giraffe tower right now. So what we were feeding her earlier are pellets. They're like little treats for her. But this is where her kind of main source of food is. She gets alfalfa and hay. She also, along with, this is Nyla right here, they browse off of the trees in this area. So everything you're looking at here is one big pasture. FossilRim is separated into 4 pastures that our animals free roam in. And of course, they're gonna eat the things they find out here. So giraffe are browsers. They eat all kinds of things, but they like this hay.
And these pellets.
Pellets, yep.
Oh, Nyla. So Nyla is the daughter of Nettie, actually.
Yes, that is true.
And so they hang around each other quite a bit. And then again, so does the whole herd. They're all pretty tight. The boys will kind of go off and do their own thing on occasion. But
we don't have lions. We have cheetahs. Cheetahs and wolves, as well as black-footed cats. Those are our only predators we have out here. We do have a couple different species of wolves, but we do not have lions. We specialize in mostly breeding hoof stock, so antelope, sheep, giraffe, rhinos. And then cheetahs have been our main focus with carnivores for a really long time. We're one of the top cheetah breeding facilities in the U.S. And we've really worked hard to help that species specifically.
And just for the record, the predators, the cheetahs, the carnivores, they don't,
yes,
they aren't in
enclosures.
Yeah,
they're not free roaming.
They're not in the same pastures as our other species here.
Yes, that is very true. And we are a zoological facility. Like I said earlier, we're FossilRimWildlifeCenter. So we are accredited by the American Zoological Association. And we work really closely with zoos in the area, like the Fort Worth Zoo, the Dallas Zoo, and zoos all across the U.S.
So we're accredited by the Zoological Association of America, ZAA, as well as the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. So we do have both accreditations, both the big accreditations here in the
Yes, Nyla's
tongue
is always hanging out. She's a little unique. Here she's going to eat. So the outad you're looking at right there, They're very similar to a native species we have here in Texas, bighorn sheep, but they are actually not from Texas. They're not even from North America. They are a Moroccan species, I believe. They're from North Africa, but they have made their way to Texas, and they are actually used a lot as a game hunting species. And some of those have escaped actually game ranches and places like that. And you will find sort of wild outad now roaming around.
And in some cases, they outcompete the bighorn sheep, the native bighorn sheep here in Texas. So
we keep ours under close watch.
Yeah, we're watching you,
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, they're doing what a lot of animals do out here, which is they're hanging out underneath the giraffe as they eat. That way they can pick up all the scraps they want.
Smart, if you ask me.
That's right. And like Garrett was saying, the rest of our giraffe herd is hanging out over there in the shade.
Yeah. Down the hill, they've got feeders. Those little blue jolly balls that hang from the trees are slow feeders. So they have these pellets. Oh yeah, there are some of them as well. They have pellets in them. And what it's trying to do is to slow down the consumption of the pellets so they digest them a little slower.
Yes. Giraffes love to eat, but just like people, and I'm sure some of you guys have pets who eat way too fast, eating slow is always better for digestion. So our vet staff has worked with a couple other, I think they've been doing some research with a couple other facilities to kind of figure out the best way to slow down giraffes eating. And yeah, so if you guys visit, you can drive through the park. We are a drive-through facility. You can take one of these vehicles that we're in right here and do a guided tour where a guide tells you about what you're seeing, shows you around the park, or you can come through in your own vehicle. Someone sneezed, scared the aoudad. And where we are, like I said, we're in the middle of a pasture, and this pasture is one of 4, and this one is several hundred acres. But when you visit, you'll probably see the giraffe hanging out in this same area. So even though they can roam as far as they like, each animal you'll kind of find picks sort of a spot that's theirs, and they can roam if they choose to. But for instance, the giraffe, this is their spot. Their feeder's here. Their barn is right there for if it gets too cold or too stormy. So human door, giraffe door. So they can hang out in there. So in general, they kind of associate this spot with all of their resources. But if they wanted to, they could go anywhere they liked.
At least in the 260 acres that we have here in game preserve pasture, in the preserve pasture.
Yeah. And yeah, we are about an hour-ish outside the DFW area, so from Dallas and from Fort Worth, depending on where you're coming from. An hour from Waco. So we get lots of visitors from all around Texas, but also lots of visitors from all around the U.S. If you guys are ever in the area, Glen Rose, where we are based, is a great place to visit. There's also Dinosaur Valley State Park, which has a lot of really cool fossils, and you can visit us as well. And yeah, they're just hanging out, honestly. Giraffe have a very chill temperament. Obviously, they're wild animals, like every animal we have out here. And when they're threatened, they can be aggressive, as they should be. But in general, their size is so imposing that they don't have a lot of predators when they're adults in the wild. So they kind of just hang out. You know, they're not very skittish. They're not very, not even very curious. They're kind of just like, yep, all right. It's getting windy.
It is.
The front's coming through.
Maybe we've got a little bit of a storm coming through.
Yeah, if you guys come out and visit, you can go to FossilRim.org to look at our different options for your visit, for what kind of tour you want to do, what you want to see. But we're open every day of the year except for Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas. So you can come in different seasons. You can come rain or shine, and seeing all the different weather is actually, I think, really interesting because the animals act babies running around all kinds of different ways. Have a really young giraffe calf right now. He's hiding behind his mom back there. He's what, like a month old now?
Yeah, he was born the 29th of June.
Okay, so yeah, just about.
Well, I think it is the 29th.
Oh, well, there you go. Happy 1 month. And yeah, like someone said on here, when they're born, they're already between like 5 and 6 feet tall, just depending. So they look really really tiny next to their very tall moms, but if you as a person were standing on the ground next to them, there's a decent chance they'd be taller than you, which is pretty crazy. Just looking at these two ladies right here, they're probably between what, like 13 and 15 feet tall.
Probably 15 feet. I know Nettie is, she's kind of the average. She's the middle of the giraffe herd there.
Yeah, and so, I mean, these oudads we're looking at right here, they're the size of like a big dog, I'd say, if not bigger.
Oh, a little bit bigger, probably.
So compare that kind of to what we're seeing. They're just munching. Yeah, like I said, this is what they do. We got one eating from a tree over there, so they are completely able to eat anything they find out here. They browse off the live oak, the native grasses out here. What they're eating in their feeders is pretty much supplemental feed. So
yeah, it's,
you know, what they're getting from the trees and grass out here might not give them all the nutrients they need. So our vets
just
make
pellets.
Sure. Oh yeah, there's some pellets. So like for instance, these might have some vitamins and minerals they might not get from the grasses, and our vet staff and animal care team will put them in the feeders. This Shiner.
Oh, Shiner.
Shiner is our tallest giraffe.
Yeah.
And he is our second male. Typically, when zoos have giraffe herds, they're either going to have a herd of all males or a herd of females with one male. That way the males don't fight with each other for the females. However, Shiner is actually neutered, so he does not present any sort of reproductive threat to our breeding male, and therefore they're able to live really peacefully.
And they're buds.
Yeah, they are. Shiner's a chill guy. Everyone loves Shiner.
Yeah, he's the fun uncle.
Yes.
What's up, Shiner?
See, once he's up next to Nettie, he's quite a bit bigger than her. He's probably closer to 17, if not above 17 feet tall.
And you know, the thing with Shiner is he's not really bigger. He's kind of slender.
Yeah,
for a male.
Longer.
He's just tall.
Just stretched out. Oh, look at her stretching.
He's a tall boy. She says, yeah, nuh-uh.
Shiner's like,
I'm just as tall, okay?
So he's gonna go in for a snack.
Oh, snacky snack.
So you can see just there how much higher his body comes than hers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for those that missed it, we are Fossil Rim Wildlife Center out of Glen Rose, Texas. You can learn more about us at fossilrim.org, and yeah, check availability if you want to come out.
Nettie's like, ugh, I wanted to eat alone.
Fine. You can come here, Nettie.
So we're able to tell these giraffes apart just by looking at them. And it is something that takes practice, but each of these giraffes have very individual spots and colorings. So for instance, Nyla right here is our palest giraffe. She's quite light in color. Her spots are a lot more just sandy tans than the others. And Nettie, the spots on her neck are really spaced apart. That's how we can tell her apart. Shiner has 3 spots on his chest that kind of look like a radioactive symbol. But really it just takes practice. Anyone can tell them apart. Our carnivorous staff is able to tell our cheetahs apart just by looking at them, which is something we're not able to do because we are not...
it's empty. There's nothing in
there. We
there.
don't interact with them enough.
There's nothing left in there. You gotta check it out for yourself.
What she's doing, giraffe use their lips and their tongues really to explore the world. So you see her little mouth. It's a lot like a camel's mouth. And they've got that super, super, super long tongue. And that's what they use to touch things, to sense things, to eat things. All of their teeth are in the back part of their mouth. I believe they have some on the front bottom.
Yes.
But all their chewing teeth are far in the back. So they use those lips and tongue to bring all of the food. Oh my gosh, you can see how much taller Shiner is compared to...
Oh, to Nyla for sure.
Yeah, Nyla's one of our shorter girls. Yeah, he looks massive next to her.
Here.
Someone's burping.
It's Nettie.
Yeah, we'd love for you guys to come out. Honestly, there's no... I mean, spring, we always say is the best time of year to visit, but there's no bad time. On hotter days like this, though, we do always recommend either coming out, you know, as early as you can or a bit later in the evening, because even though the majority of the animals we have out here are African species who are really well adapted to the heat, they still have to take breaks lay in the shade. That's actually how they adapt in some ways, is they know when to rest. So if you come at 3 o'clock and it's 112, you might not see every animal.
Shiner's licking the mineral off of the metal post there. They also have a tendency to lick things to help them produce saliva, as they are ruminants. And they need a little extra stuff to help get this dry hay and stuff down, and they regurgitate it.
Yeah.
So
they're like cows who like chew cud and have, you know, their chambered stomachs where they eat things and spit it up and then chew it and then swallow it again.
I imagine it takes a lot of moisture.
Yep.
A lot of saliva production.
Yeah, what about water? That's a good question. So they have both natural water sources and man-provided sources. So
they have a trough right here by the barn.
Right over there. That's one of their little pools they drink out of. They are off of well water usually out here. And some people have asked us why it's so low to the ground, why we don't raise it for them. And that's because in the wild, if you're drinking from a pond, they got to bend down for it. Yep. So we're just, you know,
simulating nature.
But besides that, there are other man water sources around here, but there's also, what you're seeing right here is actually a creek. And that creek flows into some ponds, and then we also just have some ponds that are standalone, and when it rains, those fill up quite a bit, and they're able to drink from those as well. And honestly, in a rainier year like this, they seem to prefer drinking from the ponds, even though we offer them clean, fresh water.
Yeah.
But in seasons where there's more of a drought, they drink from what we give them. But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's been almost 20 minutes. So we'll leave these guys alone. We'll give them a break. They're going to be hanging out like this all day. This is what they do. And like you saw earlier, they'll come up to cars as the cars venture through and as tours come by. So, yeah, don't be shy. Come visit us out here in Glen Rose and come see our neighbors. We've got lots of stuff here in Glen Rose to do.
Yeah, you can visit FossilRim.org to learn more about us, get tickets. You can also follow us on all kinds of social media. So pretty much any social media you can think of, we got it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys.